Today we are going to discuss how to apply power series to solve ordinary differential equations. So let us consider a power series like say n equals to 0 to infinity Cn x minus a power n. This is a power series of x minus a where Cn means C0, C1, C2 are constant. It can be real number, it can be complex number, and A is the center of the series. If we consider the partial sum of this series n equal to 0 to n Cn x minus a power n, then if we find the limit for this series, means that limit n goes to infinity, this partial sum, if the limit exists, then we call this series converges. Otherwise this series is diverges. So we know that each series always converges at its center. That means the power series converges for all points in x minus a equal to r. Here this absolute value of x minus a equal to r represent a circle. So the interval of the series can be written as absolute value of x minus a less than r. That means we can say that if the center is a, then the series is converged inside the circle. Outside the circle, the series always diverges, but when the radius is 0, that means we can say that the series is converged only at center. When r is infinity, we can say that this series is converged everywhere. Normally we solve linear ordinary differential equations applying power series about origin or about singular points. So you should know what is ordinary points, what is singular points. The points where the functions are analytic, we call this is ordinary points, and where the function is not analytic is called singular points. So let us consider a general differential equations ax y double prime plus bx y prime plus cx y equal to. This is a second order linear ordinary differential equations. So we make it standard form. That means this p of x equals to bx by ax, qx equals to cx by x. So we make it a standard form. That means we make free the coefficients of highest order derivatives. So this is a standard form of second order linear ordinary differential equations. So we can say that a point x naught is ordinary points if this p of x and q of x are analytic. So analytic means the function must be differentiable and the derivative must be continuous. Also you have to remember that this p of x, q of x analytic means the function must be continuous. So say x naught is called ordinary points, then we have to make sure that this p of x, q of x analytic at x naught, and also this p of x, q of x can be written as power series. Otherwise this x naught will be considered as singular points. So singular points can be two types. One is called regular singular points, another one is called irregular singular points. So let us consider an example. Here I consider one example, say determine ordinary points of the given differential equations. Here the given differential equation is x y double prime plus x square y prime x cube plus 2x y equal to 0. So this is a second order linear differential equation with variable coefficients. So this is not a standard form. We make it a standard form by dividing x. So we get the standard form like this. That means we divide this equation by x. So now we can say that here our p of x is x, our q of x is x squared plus 2. So this x and x squared plus 2 are polynomials. So you know that the polynomial function is always differentiable and continuous. So that means there is no singular points. So we can say that set of all real numbers are the ordinary points for this differential equation. There is no singular points. So let us consider another example. Say, show that x equals to 0 is an ordinary point of this differential equation. Here we consider another differential equation, x y double prime plus sin x y prime plus x squared y equal to 0. Okay, so this equation is not standard form. We divide this equation by x, then we make it standard form. So our standard form of the equation is here. So here this is our p, this is our q. So that means our p of x is sin x by x. So we can see here when x is 0, this p of x is undefined. But we have to make sure that this p of x means the result of sin x by x is analytic. So, but we know the series for sin x. We put here the series for sin x, x minus x cubed by factorial 3 and divide by x. Then finally we get p of x equals to this. Now you can see this series is analytic at x equals to 0, because when we put x equals to 0, the series is defined. That means we can say that this p of x is analytic. So that means x equals to 0 is also a singular point. X equals to 0 is an ordinary point. That means set of all real numbers are ordinary points of this series, including x equals to 0. Even though when x equals to 0, this is undefined, but we have to look at for the whole function sin x by x, not only x. But here q of x is always continuous. So means that we can say that x equals to 0 is also ordinary points for this differential equation. Let us consider another example. So here I consider another example. This is already standard form, y double prime plus x square y prime plus x power half y. So here p equals to x square, q equals to x power half. So we know that this p of x is always analytic, because there is no points that the function is not continuous, and the differentiation 2x also continuous. That means this p of x is analytic. But here you can see that qx, what is the derivative of x power half? The derivative of x power half is half x power minus half. That means 1 by 2 root x. When we put here x equals to 0, this is undefined. That means the derivative is undefined at x equals to 0. That means the derivative is not continuous at x equals to 0. That's why x equals to 0 is not ordinary point for this differential equation. So x equal to 0 is singular points. Let us consider another example. Here I consider x square plus 1 y double prime plus x y prime minus y equal to 0. So we make it standard form here. We make it standard form. So this is our px, This is our qx. So our p of x is x by x square plus 1. Q of x is minus 1 by x square plus 1. So we have to check this p of x and q of x are analytic or not. So we can see here, when we consider x square plus 1 equal to 0, that means x square plus, when we stack here x square plus x square plus 1 equal to 0, the function is undefined. Now we can see that when x equals to plus minus I, this function is undefined, p of x and q of x. But this is a complex number, so that means we can say that set of all real numbers are ordinary points for this differential equation, and x equals to plus minus I are singular points for this differential equation. That means the singular points can be complex number. So let us consider another example. So before consider another examples, we should know that the singular points can be classified as regular and irregular singular points. So when the singular points will be regular, when the singular points will be irregular. When we get a singular points, say for p of x, q of x, then say x naught is a singular point, then we multiply this p of x by x minus x naught, and this q of x by x minus x naught whole square. After that, this both new px, new qx are analytic at x naught. That means this will be defined, this will be defined. When you take the limit x goes to x naught, these new px, new qx are analytic. We call these are regular singular points. Otherwise the singular points will be irregular. So let us consider an example. Say, determine the singular points of these differential equations. Here I consider a differential equation. You can see here I consider x minus 3 whole square y double prime plus 4y prime plus y equal to 0. So this is a second order linear differential equations. So when we make it standard form, we get this. That means our p of x here, that means our p of x here, our p of x here 4 by x minus 3 whole square, our q of x is 1 by x minus 3 whole square. So we can see here x equals to x naught is equals to 3 is a singular point. So now we have to make sure these singular points regular or irregular. So according to the definition, we know that when we multiply this p of x, that means we have to find new px is equal to x minus 3 times capital P of x. Then we take the limit x goes to 3 x minus 3, this p of x is 4 x minus 3 whole square. So means that limit x goes to 3 is still this is undefined, so it does not exist. limit does not exist. That means we already get p of x. This new p of x does not exist, so you no need to proceed for the qx. That means we can say that this x equals to 3 is irregular singular points. Even though the q of x is exists, but p of x does not exist. That means any one of them does not exist, means the points is irregular singular points. Let us consider another example here. Find the singular points and the initial equation and the initial roots of the differential equation. So we already know what is singular points, and we also know the working rule for singular points as regular or irregular. But what is the initial equations? Here you can see when we find this new p of x, if the limit exists, we get an answer. So this answer is p naught x. Similarly, when we find the second factor q of x multiplied by x minus x naught whole square, we get, if the limit exists, we get q naught x. So this will be p naught, this will be q naught. Then we can write the initial equation as r times r minus 1 plus p naught r q naught is equal to 0. So this is the general equation for initial roots. Here p naught, q naught already known, so we solve this equation for r. So this is called initial roots. So let us consider here another example. Example 5 here. You can look at in this example here, the coefficients of y double prime is x square minus 1 whole square plus y equal to 0. Classify each singular point as regular or irregular. First we have to make this equation a standard form. When we make it standard form, we can see here our p of x is 0 because y prime, there is no y prime goes to 0 because here in this equation there is no y prime. That means our q of x in this equation, q of x is 1 by x square minus 1 whole square, because when we write this equation standard form, this equation will become like this: y double prime plus here actually 0 y prime plus y by x square minus 1 whole square equals to 0. That means the coefficients of y prime is 0, means that p of x is 0. So if p of x 0, that means when we multiply by the singular factor of singular points becomes 0. So now first we consider here what is our singular points. Here we can see that x equals to 0, here x equals to 0 is also singular points, x equals to plus minus 1 also singular points. But when we find the limit for x equals to 0, p of x exists and q of x also exists. That means we can say that the limit exists, so x equals to 0 is singular points. Now we find the limit for x equals to plus minus 1. So for x equals to plus minus 1, p of x already 0 because p of x is 0. So everything will be 0. So we have to check only for q. So that means we can find the limit for limit x goes to plus minus 1, x minus plus minus 1 whole square qx. So that means this is our qx. So when we find the limit here, we can say that this is our qx. We can see that the limit is 1 by 4. The answer is, that means limit exists. So we can say that both limit exists. So x equals to plus minus 1 also regular singular points. So we go back to again our example 6. We already discussed example 6. Now we discuss example 7 here. So you can see this problem, the question asks find the singular points and the initial equations and initial roots. So what is singular points? When we write this equation in standard form, then we get here y double prime plus 2 by 4x y prime plus y equal to 0. So that means our p of x is 2 by 4x, our q of x is 1 by 4x. So here if x is 0, the function is undefined. So that means this is x equals to 0 is a singular points, but we have to make sure these singular points regular or irregular. So according to the definition, to check regular or irregular, we have to find the limit x goes to 0 because 0 is singular point here. That means x minus 0 times px means 2 by 4x. So you know that this is here x cancel. That means x goes to 0. We get 2 by 4. That means this is a half. So this is our p naught set. The answer is p naught. So similarly, limit x goes to 0, x minus 0 whole square, our qx 1 by 4x. This is limit x goes to 0, we get x times 1 by 4. So the answer is 0. That means that this is q naught. The answer is q naught. So that means the both limit exists. It's not compulsory to be the answer same. We have to make sure that both limit exist. So that means we can say that x equals to 0 is a regular singular point. Now we have to find the initial equation. So according to the definition, we know that the initial equation is equal to this. Now we put p naught and q naught. So when we put p naught equal to half, q naught equal to 0, we get it. Now we get this equation. When we solve this equation for r, we get r equal to 0, r equal to half. So this is called initial roots. And this equation is called initial equations. If the question asks you to find the initial equation, initial roots, will follow this procedure because the question don't ask to solve the differential equations. If the question asks to solve the differential equation, we can find the initial equation and initial roots on the way to solve the problems. So in the next lecture, we discuss how to solve ordinary differential equation applying power series. So we focus on singular points. The solution about singular points for ordinary differential equation applying power series.